Hello everyone. So recently I just came across this Kbeauty brand called LAKA, and apparently they say they are a makeup brand meant for all gender identities, and that's a whole thing for them. So I was like, interesting, let me go and check it out. So I picked up two products from them. I have it on my face right now. I have the Vital Sheer Blusher in Mars over here. This is how it looks like. It is this kind of like a peachy pink kind of blush kind of color. Look at that, it's kind of pretty, but this is huge. It is as big as my palm. And I did pick up the Fruity Glam Tint, which I think is quite popular in Korea. I don't see many people talking about it on TikTok or on YouTube, so I was like, okay, let me be the first. And yes, this is in number 107 Sugar. I think one of you guys told me to go and check this out, I think in one of my community posts if I'm not wrong. So I was like, okay, people kind of love it, let's go and check it out. For today's video, I'll mainly be reviewing the Fruity Glam Tint because I've been wearing it for a couple of days. For the blusher, I have just worn this just today because I totally forgot that I had this. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna film a video on this. Hold on a minute, let me go and try this out. I totally forgot about it. That's how much makeup I have. I really like it so far. It's definitely a very sheer blush. Actually, now that I look at it, it kind of leans a little bit more orange, but I think it's very pretty. So far, this is probably the only orange blush that has worked on me. Packaging wise, I think they look very refined. They don't look too amateur or kiddie or whatnot have you, but these are not very heavy in weight. Okay, maybe for the Fruity Glam Tint, this feels significantly heavier, but it's obviously made out of plastic. It's not made out of glass. Same thing for the blusher over here. I want to show you guys effortless, chic in a sense, but this feels pretty like cheap. This blush feels lighter than the lip tint itself. I think a good example of luxe looking packaging would be the Cleo one over here. You can see how it's transparent plastic, but it's also kind of like harder plastic in a sense. And this feels a little bit weighty, not say like Pat McGrath heavyweight kind of thing, but this feels much more heavier than compared to the blush. I remember talking to some of you guys on Instagram DMs, and if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, go ahead. I post more beauty content, short form content over there. So yeah, I'll see you guys over there and we can chit chat about makeup. But apparently some of you guys were telling me that it's very hard for you guys to find Kbeauty items in your stores, or maybe the online retailers, they just don't ship to your country. So I just want to quickly just give out some recommendations for some online websites that I personally have used and paid with my own money and everything. So one, obviously YesStyle. I have very good experience with YesStyle. Second is Olive Young Global. Olive Young is basically Korea's pharmacy itself, and now they have a global website to ship makeup and beauty products, your skincare. Yakos.com, I have bought from them from their website, and also their Shopee Singapore seller website account thingy. The fourth one would be ibuybeauty.com. That one I have bought from them back in 2017, 2018. I used to order my makeup from there together with my mom because the prices there are really a good deal. So you might want to consider those four websites. For these two products, I did pick this up from YesStyle, and you can use my code It's Crystal to help you save some money off. It is affiliated code, so if you're not comfortable using an affiliated code, it's totally okay. I understand you watching the video, good enough for me. And if you do choose to use my code, I do get a small kickback out of it. So thank you so much for your support as always. I really appreciate it. So let's get into the formula for the Fruity Glam Tint by LAKA. Again, this is in the shade 107 Sugar. I do have it on my lips right now, and this is one layer, and of course I took occasional like sips of water, so you can see a bit of coverage has been lost, but overall this is the general vibe, very like effortless looking. This is a water tint, but it's not the type that would I'm gonna suck the life out of your lips and dry and only stain the inner part of your lips. No, it's not like that. It stains pretty evenly, and you can see it does have this very moist, juicy looking lips, which I really like. Let me apply one more layer just to show you guys. So this is the applicator. It's those type of long doe foot applicators. And the scent, this smells of like apple juice, grape candy kind of vibes. I actually really like the scent a lot. I don't smell this very often in cosmetics. I'm not sure if I'm going to count this as a second layer or what, but I'm just going to touch up one layer for you guys to see. And and you can see now how juicy my lips look. I absolutely love this. You can tell it looks really juicy, very kissable in a sense, and I absolutely love how it looks like. I would describe this as a nudie beige but leaning more on the orange side. I think it looks very flattering on my yellow Asian skin tone, and I definitely can see myself wearing this. I have been wearing this for like the last 2-3 days and I've been loving it a lot. I think one thing that's pretty common for water tints, this type of glossy, moist looking ones, is that in terms of color pigmentations, most of the times they are not, say, super pigmented as compared to like maybe like Etude fixing tint, for example. Maybe their opacities like maybe by 50-35%, and in order to get that full opacity, you really have to go in with a second layer to build it up. But with that being said, in terms of longevity, these type of water tints, they don't really hold up that well. I'm gonna do a blot test for you. So as you can see, after I blotted my lips, the shine is no longer there, but it does leave behind a really nice staining to the lips, which is something that I really appreciate. The Fruity Glam Tint is probably one of the better Korean lip tints in terms of like the glassy, moist looking ones. This is one of the better ones that actually stain much better, because what I found after trying so many of these type of water tints, I realized one thing is that sometimes these lip tints don't have the best performance in terms of staining your lips. Of course, the staining can't be compared to, again, Etude House fixing tint. It's always the point of reference, I guess. But this one actually stains much better. You actually can see some color, although of course this is a very close color to my natural lip color, but I definitely can see the slight difference. Also, this doesn't really accentuate dead skin cells or the lines in your lips. It just applies very naturally. It's just a shame that it does not last in terms of the shine and everything, and it's definitely not mask proof for sure. I think this is great for no makeup days. It just gives off that very youthful, glossy, you're glowing from within, that kind of vibe, and I really like it. Oh, but one thing I felt really cheated about this particular lip product. Can you tell? Can you guess? The swatches. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna put a picture up here of the swatches that are on the official YesStyle listing. I thought I was going to get like an actual brown color like that, and it just looks really saturated. Obviously, the model has lip fillers, it's very obvious, but I didn't expect it to look so nudie brown on my lips, and it's those that are light nude brown. On her, it looks kind of like a medium deep brown, you know? So I felt a little bit cheated about how the color turned out, because I was expecting that, not this. But overall, I think it still worked out. I really do like the color. I think it's just more of like a daily, my lips but better kind of color, and not so much of a statement lip brown kind of thing. So I just took off whatever is on my lip. I'm gonna be doing this type of half lip comparisons right now, and I do have two other lip products that I would like to compare the LAKA Fruity Glam Tint to. So I do have the Peripera Best Beige Menu in number 1. I think in terms of color and formula, this would be a good comparison. Price point wise, the Peripera one is much cheaper as well. LAKA is slightly more expensive, like by another like $8 or $9. So I'm gonna apply the LAKA one on this side of my lips, and Peripera's Ink Mood Glowy Tint on the other side. Alright, so this is the Fruity Glam Tint from LAKA, Sugar, and this is Best Beige Menu Peripera in the Ink Mood Glowy Tint. What do you guys think? When I first swatched the LAKA one, I was like, oh, this looks really close to Best Beige Menu from Peripera, and I went to swatch it. These two are slightly different in color because the Best Beige Menu is a little bit more of a beigey pink kind of color. LAKA Sugar, it stains more obviously for like a brown orange leaning kind of color, so it's very obvious when it stains. But in terms of finish, these two are pretty close. As you can see, they have this very glossy lips kind of look. The Peripera one feels a little bit more obvious as compared to the LAKA one. It has this little bit of tag a little bit heavier, but still when compared to maybe a typical traditional lip gloss, the Peripera one is still very lightweight. It's just that 10-15% more obvious. I would say that both of these tints wear and adhere to the lips more or less the same. They actually stain the same way. They actually both leave the same staining power on the lips, just that the colors are a little bit different, and other than that, they are pretty much quite close to one another. The Peripera side, it definitely stained a little bit better in a sense because it stains pinkish red, while the LAKA one stains more of a brown orange. So you can see the difference. This one stained a little bit more obviously, so my lips here look much more stained better in a sense, but I think both of them did a good job. One more comparison will be the Rom and Dewyful Water Tint. I have the shade number 3, if Rose, over here. We'll compare it to the Fruity Glam Tint as well, more on the formula side of things. LAKA on the same side. And the Dewyful Water Tint on the other side. Okay, so the Rom and Dewyful Water Tint on this side and the LAKA Fruity Glam Tint on this side. What do you guys think? Both of them offer this very beautiful shine. So the Dewyful actually offers more color pigmentation as compared to the Fruity Glam one. If you've been on my channel, you know that the Dewyful tint from Rom is probably one of my least favorite lip tints from Rom itself, or in general from like recent Kbeauty releases, because it just doesn't adhere very well to your lips. It actually slips and falls off very easily. Doesn't stain very well either. I just want to quickly show you guys. I did swatches just now, so obviously you can see the brown color over here. This one is the LAKA one, and this is the Dewyful one. You can see that the LAKA one stains much more as compared to the Dewyful one over here. So just a quick little like comparison for you to see. Staining power is pretty weak. It doesn't adhere very well, but color-wise, pigment-wise, I will give it to the Dewyful one. But in terms of like overall, okay, I still think the LAKA one is much better compared to the Dewyful one. I don't know. It's like a personal vendetta against this particular lip tint. And of course, a quick blot test. So this is my lips after blotting, and you can see there's not much shine, there's not much sheen to it, but both my lips still feel very comfortable actually. So yeah, I just don't really like the Dewyful tint from Rom. So the verdict on the Fruity Glam Tint by LAKA, I really like it. I really do. I think it's a very pretty lip tint. I have tried tons and tons of lip tint in the market right now, and this is probably one of my favorite lip tints. I've been constantly grabbing for this, and it's just so darn comfortable to wear on my lips. You know, I do still love my Rom and Glassing Water Tint in Rose Stream. That is still my ride or die OG, but this is like a competitor. It's like sneaking up right there. And I'm not saying to like, oh, empty your bank account, use your last $18 to buy this lip tint. You must go and buy it because it's life-changing. No, it's not. It's a lip tint, come on. However, if you are in the market to look for a good quality Korean lip tint that stains your lips pretty, also has that moist, dewy look, and I mean, if you are looking for something new, I highly recommend this. This is super nice. I think this is one of my top 3 lip tints of the year. That's a bold statement, I know. Maybe I should do a yearly roundup like, oh, top 2022 Kbeauty faves. What do you think? I think that's a video idea. And if you are interested in finding out more about Rom and their different like lines of lip products, and it's just very overwhelming for you, I did do a video on that, a very in-depth review, and you can watch it over here. Alright, I will see you guys over there.